Hello everyone, it's Jebro. We're back. It's the new season, and it's not completely new deck, in all honesty. I really appreciate all the support so far. We hit over 100 subscribers, which is honestly amazing. Like, that's so excellent. Like, thank you so much for just hitting that subscriber button, because I'm telling you, like, I didn't expect to hit that until the end of the year maybe, and that was just a far off goal, an additional goal. I really appreciate it. Even the likes, everything, the comments as well are really cool. I love talking about the game and just hanging out with people in the comments as well, and just kind of talking what would be good with this, what would be good with that, and what would replace like Rogue. Oh, I don't have this card, what would be good there? And it makes me think about other cards I could just try instead as well. So please ask your questions about this deck if you have any, and if you have any better suggestions or things that I might like to try myself, then please do. Like Gladiator is one that I completely forgot about. Someone in the comments, and now I've forgotten who it was, said it might be good to use Gladiator, and I was like, oh yeah, it would. It's got good power, and also if I use it with Wong, I can pull out 2 cards and destroy them both. But that was because that was the last deck video, okay peeps? The last deck video was all about sadness and hope. Hope was in the build, Hope Summers, to give us a little bit of extra energy. And then we had the sadness, which came from Leech, and also pretty much milling out their deck most of the time. Now, the other deck we had was actually something a bit different. We've got Sadness and the Hope here, which is actually the newer version I made, which you haven't seen the deck build up. It was just Gladiator put in there instead of something else. I can't remember what I changed it with now. But then it's kind of evolved. So this is still its own deck, but Dr. Doom on top of Wong really helps you build up power. So we obviously went from the version of Black Bolt with Stature, is another version that I have that I'm also running here. But I've taken out some cards, as you can see. So we haven't got things like, oh, what do we not have in this? Obviously we don't have Dr. Doom, because that was a card we took out. But we don't have Leech either. Leech is gone. Leech is gone from both of these. But Leech is really great. But the thing is, it only really works with on-reveal cards, and that won't cut it. The good thing about Leech is that it is a 5-cost energy card, which means if your versus like Red Hulk, which is a brand new card in the game, you're using all of your energy on that 5th turn. So that is still a real option. It could be an option over Shang-Chi as well, but Shang-Chi is still really important in this deck. Now, you can see there is an addition of Grandmaster and some change of other cards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to completely go over this deck from the beginning, because it has had some changes. I'm calling it Milling About. Now, in England, in the UK, milling about is like kind of standing around, hanging out, doing your thing. Mill in card games comes from Magic the Gathering. It's when you basically take the cards from your opponent's deck and you put them into the graveyard. So when they run out of cards, the game ends and they lose. So in this, I'm using it as a reference to Magic the Gathering, but we're removing or taking away their ability to play their cards, which is kind of what the last deck with Sadness and Hope was, but not even as much as this. So if you look at every single card in this deck, it is about removing their ability to outplay, like to play their cards in some kind of way, shape or form, other than Dr. Doom. But Dr. Doom is we still need power, right? Like, we have to have power. So Dr. Doom comes in and gives us 15 power at the very least. Well, at the very least, it gives us 5 power. But then at the very least above that, we get 15 as long as we get the on reveal off. And if we put him on Wong, you get 25 power across 3 locations, right? We get 5 on the base location he's on, and then 10 on the other 2. So what else? Spider-Ham controls their deck. Doesn't get rid of the card, but it gets rid of the ability that they potentially had. So it could be something big, it could be something small, but if it's like this deck, you know, and there's a lot of synergy in it, it's probably quite important most of the time. Electra is really underrated. People play cards like Nebula, Sunspot, Other cards that are 1 cost that are really helpful: Hawkeye, Kitty Pride, for God's sake, Rocket Raccoon. If they've put you into a location and you have to pay cards there, and Rocket Raccoon comes out and he gets a +4, you can kill a 5 cost card. Echo, for example, Black Knight, really good to kill that. Doesn't matter if you kill Agent, American Chavez, Angel, anything like that. Human Torch, if that gets exploded up, get rid of that. Get rid of that cheeky Howard the Duck. Get rid of a Misty that's giving other players, other cards, power in a high evolution deck. Kill a Nightcrawler that's wandering across the whole board. Kill a Quinjet. Like, kill all these 1 cost cards that are just causing you pain, right? Kill a Ebony Maw, which is big with, you know, the last season we saw obviously as well, with the big card coming out from War Machine, where you can place a card anywhere, and the Maw doesn't allow you to do that normally on your side. So really, really cool, unless you remove their ability, their ongoing ability, of course, with like Sauron or whatever. So already 2 cards. So you can tell my excitement from this deck, okay? You can tell. Then Yondu. Destroy the lowest cost card in your opponent's deck. Now, don't forget that if you're removing cards with things like Gladiator and you're taking cards away from Cable with Cable and Baron Zemo, you don't have to play Yondu early on. You can hold Yondu and actually play a Yondu with a Wong on turn 5, which is really nice, because Yondu on turn 5 being used twice when they've run out of cards or you've taken their cards, you can really F them up. You can really F them up, because if you've used Cable as well once, you've taken one of their cards as well. So you may have taken that low cost card into your deck, right? And then also you scout out their deck with Cable. Really, really awesome. And also, don't forget, if you're playing some of these on reveal cards, you don't want to play them in the middle, because more often than not, you want to play them on the side, so Grandmaster can move one of your other on reveal cards here to the middle location, and its ability happens again. And don't forget as well, like, if they've locked off the mid location, or it's being shut down on turn 6, for example, or it's the vault or whatever, you can move that card to the middle so that you can, you know, place cards wherever you want. So it's really cool. Actually, I'm pretty sure you can do that with Grandmaster. Someone may have to remind me that if that's possible at all. If you remember as well, if you use Grandmaster on Wong and you've already got like a Gladiator there as well, Gladiator on top of Wong, you get to use Gladiator again, and Wong's going to pop over there again as well. So you get, there's so many fun combinations with this. I love it. And don't forget as well, if you're in a turn 7 game and you've got Doctor Doom on turn 6, and they've initiated a turn 7, or one location switches and it's a turn 7, you can use Grandmaster on Doctor Doom, which means you get even more Doctor Dooms, okay? By that point in time, you've probably got Doctor Doom everywhere, so it's up to you whether or not you do that. Rogue is going to be stealing the ability of an ongoing card. Now, don't forget, if it's like the Ebony Blade from Black Knight, then you're going to steal, what is it? We're going to steal, it can't be destroyed, and its power can't be reduced. You take that and then you can kill it. That's just one example, but you know all of the other ones. There's so many ongoing cards which you can take the ability of, which are so influential to so many decks, right? If you think about it, well, discard as like a main deck in the game right now. Cerebro is coming back. Cosmo is the only card which, on top of their ongoing, which is gonna potentially F you over, but you can take a load of their cards out of play as well. Invisible Woman, you can take Invisible Woman's ability so they can't play their boring Hela decks. Yes, it's boring. You can take their Wong, you can take their Super Scroll, you can take all of these. Iron Man, not Professor X, unless you got War Machine. And also it doesn't really matter. Blue Marvel, all of these things. I won a wicked game earlier with a Devil Dinosaur, and they put an Iron Man on the other location, and they were like, oh, I've won this. This is the best ever. And then I just stole their Devil Dinosaur ability. It was so fun. Constantly stealing Null. constantly stealing Onslaught and also Living Tribunal as well. It's just a fantastic card, and we switched it out for Enchantress because someone mentioned it in the comments. And this is what I love about this, is because it feels really collaborative with the community that we're making these kind of decks, and I love it. And I love them making another video of like the same kind of deck, but ooh, what can we do now? So really, really, really appreciate all this kind of chatter as well. I love doing this. I love interacting with the community. That is what I like doing the most. So keep it coming. Gambit is a possible switch where you could even bring back in something that you've taken out, or even put something in there like magic. So let's see where we've not got Gambit. We've not got Gambit here. So you could, for example, bring back in maybe Black Bolt if you wanted to, and just have it without stature so you can get rid of a ton of cards, and then have Doctor Doom as well. Could even be a better option, honestly, because, but you know, I'm having more luck with Gambit. Just know that you probably want to be using that on the last go, and you're risking it, because if you know that they've got some cards which are in play that are big power cards and they've got kind of a lot going on the board, it's going to be difficult for the Gambit to focus those two cards, right? Because it's like a 1 in whatever chance, but it's going to be 2 if you've got Wong. But guess what, if you've got Gambit out already, and then on the left or the right, and then you Grandmaster into the Wong in the middle, you get a fair few. But you got to make sure you've got the cards in your hand to discard, because if you don't have them, then Gambit will not use anything. Technically, he won't be throwing his cards out because he's got no cards in his deck. You know, what's he going to do? So Gambit, again, stealing, destroying those cards. We're not stealing them, we're destroying them on the ones that have been played. This is the season of Baron Zemo, of course, and we've got other cards like, you know, Red Hulk and whatnot. And there are other cards coming down the line. I'm not going to spoil you because some people don't like to know what's coming because they like that surprise, I know. And I do a little bit just because of accident, but at the end of the day, like, this is a wicked card for the deck. Like, I swear, I don't know what it was. Like, I didn't know this was going to be the season where this would come in. I didn't know anything until like a couple of days before, and then we was like, and someone said in the comments, and I'm like, yes, recruit the lowest cost card from your opponent's deck to your side of this location. Of course, it's gonna fit in to the deck because we're taking their cards away. And then when you think about it, if you put it on top of Wong, you're gonna have Wong, then you're gonna have Baron Zemo and 2 other cards. Now, you don't necessarily want to do that. I would say using Grandmaster with Baron Zemo would be much better, which is actually what they did in the trailer. But I already had ideas for Grandmaster working with Baron Zemo, because then you've got one of their lowest cost cards on your side. And don't forget, this is a turn 3 earliest, unless you've reduced energy. So you would have already used Cable, you would have already used maybe Yondu or something, and they would have already paid cards until this point. So there's more of a risk that you're going to take one of their higher cost cards the later you get into the game, because they've already used those lower cost cards potentially as well. So Baron Zemo, awesome. Use on the left and right if you can on with Grandmaster. If you need to use it in the end, go for it. You know, but like, it's not a turn 6 Baron Zemo isn't really going to be that beneficial because they just didn't play the card. Although it will just give you the extra power on the board, or, you know, it could be a really important card they just didn't play and they played something else because of what you had played. Gladiator is just epic. I love this variant as well. I'm working on the next kind of round of variants for this. Add a card from your opponent's deck to their side of this location. If it has less power, destroy it. Now, there are going to be loads of cards which are less power than 8. But, and then you could argue that maybe you chuck in a Forge or something like that with this, but it's not really that necessary, because Gladiator isn't just pulling the card out and destroying it. That's not just the only good reason why that occurs, right? So if you pull out Gladiator and it pulls an Infernaut, you know that you've controlled that play by putting it on the location you want it in, technically. Which then, if you need to later, you can use Shang-Chi to destroy the bigger power card, which is like 10 plus, right? Because it's only going to be a 9 cost card or an above, which is going to be pulled out by Gladiator unless their power's been reduced, right? So if it's 9 power, yeah, you're screwed. If it's 9 power, I think most 9 power cards have got some kind of ongoing ability or whatever. I'm not sure about the 9 power cost cards. Let's have a look. Actually, this is gonna be a longer video than I had planned. But I'm really excited about this deck, and I love talking about them, especially the ones that I create. 9 power. Here you go. So there's like Living Tribunal, right? So there's just 9 power. Then you can steal it with Rogue. Heimdall, yeah. Early on though, that's good because it messes up that combo. Spider-Man, that's gonna suck. Arrow, not that bad. You pull out Black Cat or Abomination, right? It's not actually many cards at all. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're the only cards where you're probably not gonna be able to destroy, but then you can still seal that ability. This ability has been wasted. Spider-Man's not really been a plan and was also barely played. Barely see Arrow. Abomination is in high Evo decks, so you just want to be aware of pulling that down. And Black Cat is just, 4/9. It's fine. It's going to be fine. Then we've got Wong, so you put Gladiator on Wong, and you get the double reveal ability. There you pulled 2 cards down, that's 2 more cards taken away. So even if you just go for the base amount of what this deck does up until this point, because this is the point where, then you've got Shang-Chi, you've taken another card away. If it's 10 plus power, you've got Spider-Man's taking a card out, potentially Elektra 2, Yondu 3, Cable 4, Rogue takes an ability from 1, 5, Gambit takes 1, 6, Zemo takes 1, 7, Gladiator takes 1, 8, and then Shang-Chi 9. And you haven't even taken into account Wong or Grandmaster. You're pretty much doing them over. Like, you're just wrecking their day. And it happens consistently. And Baron Zemo played later in the game, most of the time, there's nothing left in their deck. But remember, the Baron Zemo is deck, not hand, as far as I remember. Yes, so they may have something left in their hand. And if they're Snap, they've probably got exactly what they want. So that's when I know I pull out of that, and here we go again. We just roll around. We have lost a cube, and that's fine. And that happens. Doctor Doom on top of Wong again is the big power play card that we want to use where we can. What kind of differences could you have in this? Well, in the other Milling About build I've got Black Bolt and I've got Stature. I've taken out Doctor Doom and Gambit is the other card. So that's the other variation I'm currently playing, which is fun. I'm not winning as much as I am with this because Doctor Doom is just the game changer here. Really solid choice in this deck because it adds to the power, and it, because if cards have been taken away and they might only rely on one location, normally we're spreading ourselves across the locations. And it's rare that I'll play the 1 cost cards on the same one. Saying that, that'll probably happen in the example game. And whether or not I win or lose right now is another thing, because actually this video has gone on for 20 minutes. And I'm going to play 1 game and see how we go. I really hope we win this game, because if we don't, we just did 20 minutes of explanation with 1 game we're going to lose. And it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, we're not always going to be able to get what we want in life, are we? So that's fine. Okay, so this kind of sucks already. Left location, we can't really plant anything on, because we can't even use a Grandmaster to delete it, because to move the card to the middle, because card text is disabled here. Yondu goes on the right. We will delete a low cost card. It will be a low cost card, but it will give us an indication of what they are playing. So Yondu is also a scout. Sunspot could be high Evo. And now we need to be careful. We've only really got 2 locations to play with. They could have a high cost card and put it on the left and just win it, because there's nothing we can do about it other than using Gambit somewhere else to destroy it. Let's see what they play. Always thinking about the potential of what have we got, where's it gonna go, how's it gonna affect the game. Shuri's Lab, we've got nothing that can change that. This location is one of the worst for this deck, but I'm winning. I'm very excited, as you can probably tell. It's high Evo, predicted. So this is gonna be difficult. Oh my good lord. Oh no. Oh god. This is not fun. Cosmo is not useful for us. Rogue is not useful for us right now. Baron Zemo is probably not going to be a good card for us to use in the middle because we're just going to be taking one of their cards. Although, let's go for it. Let's see what we grab because it's not Sunspot. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm really happy about that. Hey, no more HP gaining for you, buddy boy. Okie dokie. Gambit we're gonna save. We don't really have much here. I really wish we'd used Cable to get Sunspot because that would have been more fun. And we can use, you can just throw Cosmo on the left because I haven't really got anything that's gonna reveal. We've got all reveal cards, so we really need to just like hold on to it. And they don't really have any one cost cards either, so I'm gonna put Electra on the left. They'll pop a one cost card on the right now. And it'll be Nebula or something. Oh god, Cyclops is gonna be a pain in the backside, everyone. It's gonna be a royal pain. Let's see if we can get rid of it. The thing is, if we do that, then we get rid of Infinite, possibly. No, actually, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to play Infinite. That's what we're going to do. And we can play Infinite on the left. Now we only need to win one location. Ah, but it's going to be a real deal. Oh well, we got rid of Gambit's gone. Maybe we should have played Gambit. But we're playing it for Infinite anyway. So now what we think, we've got 25 on this side. They don't have Hulk. I don't think we're gonna have enough. So we are gonna retreat from this game. Doesn't really count because we didn't get to play the deck because we were just drawing from each other's. It's typical that you get the most arsey, stupid location in the entire game, which doesn't even let you play the deck that you build. I hate that location so much. You just effed my video up. Damn you. Don't count that game. It's not even going in the gameplay. Spider-Ham on the left. One cost. Gives us 2 later in the game after turn 5. As long as they don't change the location up, which they possibly could. Sunspot. Now, this is the time where we will probably use another 1 cost card on the other side. Can't really play Grandmaster on Spider-Ham because all it will do is ham the same card. Ooh. Now, do we use Rogue now? No, we don't. We use Baron Zemo. Now, what's that going to bring over? Probably Blade. And he gets rid of Dr. Doom. Of course. Of course. That would have been really good here. I knew it was going to happen. Okay, so we're going to give them a false sense of security right now. What we're going to do is... Oh, we can't play a card there on turn 4. Thing is, if Grandmaster hits that card, it's not going to be good. We may lose... this is going to be rough. We kind of don't really have a choice here. I'm sensing that they're kind of screwed as well, which is not too bad. I am surprised that they didn't play a Dracula on that side, honestly. Now we play Gladiator because that means they won't necessarily have something here. Go on then. Oh, there you go. We didn't bring anything down, so that's good.
All systems go.
Excellent. They would have got some extra energy for that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move potentially Gladiator to the middle or Spider-Ham and then put Gambit there. That's still only gonna be 6, which isn't the best. But I think we still win, potentially. Unless they got a big cost card in the middle. We could have effed ourselves over royally here. We'll see. Oh! 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 That was nice. See? Took the ability of Morbius, took Blade, and potentially screwed ourselves over almost. But we also got rid of cards ourselves, which is why Rogue ended up at 8. Was it from the 1? Yeah, 2/2 plus 4. Yeah, I think. Anyway, yeah, because of Gladiator, sorry, Gambit and Blade, we got the extra cost for Rogue. I love that, and I love that so much. It made Gambit even more worth. Do you know what I mean? Really solid win, and that is the meta discard card deck, other than Swordmaster, because I don't think Swordmaster gets played in that. So one of the variations, but Collector's in it now as well, because Swarm gets those cards back into their deck. So in all, we gained 1 cube out of the 2 games, but we did play High Evo, which is a tough one, and we didn't have control over that, and then we play like pretty much meta almost a discard. And I'm playing versus meta decks and winning. Tell me what you think about the deck. Like, comment, subscribe. That was a laugh. I'm going to be completely trying to get to infinite with this, and I'll be messing around with it and trying. I will also still be creating brand new decks. So pay attention to this weekend coming and suggest something you may like to see being played. Maybe Red Hulk if I get it. I don't know if I'm going to risk the keys yet because I want to get the other cards from this season. So we shall see. See you soon. Take care. I love your faces. We got over 100 subs. Yay. Bye. Oh, and this is the real mill deck. There are so many mill decks out there that don't actually mill. I'll take away their cards. It just has Byron and Zemo in it. So yeah, just saying. Bye.